Hello everyone, this is Lolly, and today I want to talk about craft mats. Now, usually we think about craft mats, we're talking about these cutting mats that protect your work surfaces, and these are self-healing cutting mats. But really what I want to focus on is something to protect your countertop that you're not actually cutting on, but when you do mixed media or get paints or something out, glues, and you want to protect your surface. This is my last cutting mat. You can see with the paint on there, I didn't always protect it well. It's very hard to get some of that off. Sometimes it comes off more easily. I want to talk about some options here. And the first craft mat that I had heard of was these. They're not cutting mats. You can see how thin they are. Okay, they're a Teflon mat. They're very slick surface. You can tell by the glare on the paper here. It feels like vinyl, but like I said, it's this Teflon surface. So even when I am doing painting and I get paint on it and I let it set for a couple days, it will still wash off. I mean, I wouldn't use anything harsh on it. You have to be careful with these. When I received this one, I ordered it by mail, and it was folded in half this way and in half again. They're not supposed to be folded, they're supposed to be rolled, and I noticed that where the double crease was, if I hold it up to the light, I can see that the Teflon is broken right in the middle there. So it's still working well. I haven't had any problems, but they are rather pricey. Another thing you can do is freezer paper. It's what you would wrap meat in, and one side is paper and the other side is a waxed coating. You see it tends to curl up on you, so I would use packing tape and tape down the edges when working. And it also will wipe up, not as well as the Teflon, but it does work, and you can use it over and over again. And when it finally, if you just tear it, you can recycle it and start a new sheet. So that's another option there. And then today I was watching a video of a lady, and I'll give you the link to her video. And in her video, she was showing that she uses, it's called a chair mat. It's a big, clear, hard plastic surface, and it's what you put on the ground under your rolling chair so it will roll well. And you would want to get the kind that says chair mat for hard surfaces, because that way it's flat on both sides. If you get the one that says it's for carpet, then underneath there are like little teeth, like little combs on it to dig into the carpet, and you don't want those. You just want the flat one. I'll give you a link in my description under this to show you what I'm talking about, and I am going to purchase one and see how it goes. But in our discussions of this, someone was asking about using these, and this is, I don't even know what you call it. It's clear vinyl, and they sell it by the yard in fabric stores. Usually you could just put it over like a fabric tablecloth, and it protects the tablecloth. This is really bulky, and that's knocking things over. So one of my concerns about this one is it doesn't just lay flat as well as the other ones do, but you can, if you really work at it, do that and then tape it down. But how well does it wipe up? Well, we're going to do an experiment and see. So let me just grab a couple. Let me grab this, and we'll get set up here. Let's get some ATCs. If you're not familiar with ATCs, they are artist trading cards. Hold on. Okay, I had to get my brayer. So usually what people do is they go ahead and squirt their paint right on their surface. And boy, wouldn't you know, I just grabbed way too much paint there. So let me grab a couple more of these. And these ones are all postage stamp edges. Okay, so let's just brayer these over as though I was going to do a mixed media project. And then what I'm going to do is let this dry on my craft mat. And I'm not going to get 100% coverage because I like the look of having two-tone here. I can already tell that because this isn't laying flat, if I do want a flat roller, I'm not going to get it because of the bumps in it. So that is one problem. And granted, this is not brand new, but even when it was, we had this problem. It just doesn't lay flat, even when we had it on a table, covering a tablecloth. And I've got room for enough paint for another one. So let's just cover it that much, and I will pause the video, let this air dry, and I'll come back and see how well it wipes up. Okay, so I rinsed my brayer off. In the meantime, parts of this are dry and parts are still damp. So I usually like to clean up the paint while it's still damp, and I just use an old rag, and that way I can rinse the rag out because the paint is still wet, and I can keep reusing the rag over and over. Once it dries, it's a little harder to just get all that on a rag and rinse it out. Otherwise, you're putting acrylic paint down your sink, chunks of it. And I can see that this is wiping up pretty well with a baby wipe. Like I said, not usually my favorite to use baby wipes because it's so wasteful and ends up in the landfill, but it is working. So I would say this is an option for those of you who don't want to use the chair mat, looking for a cheap alternative. You can get a yard of this and share it with people. But the fact that it's really not flat, if you're brayering like I was doing, you will notice gaps in your painting because of the lack of the flatness of this and the way it doesn't cling as well as I would like. Totally up to you what you choose. I will give you a link below. Let's see if I can find out the name of this. I just know it's just vinyl on a roll. And I will give you an example of the chair mat under this video. Thank you so much for watching.